Welcome to the Real CP Show. I am your host, CP. And today's topic, this very violent illegal immigrant, Sudanese African, with a major criminality history. But at the same time, there are people who think numbers of Black Americans overall are supposed to call themselves Africans in some generic way. I mean, the ironic nerve, right? Black Americans just call yourself Africans. Even when you got numbers of personnel in various parts of Africa, don't even like to call themselves Africans. They go by first tribalism and our nationality, right? It's like this part right here. Do you think these same people that try to run that game on Black Americans collectively say you call yourself Africans, they only look at somebody like Hero, who is from Harvard tribe or some nationality within Africa? They don't look at him as a Pan-Africanist camaraderie. They don't care anything about someone like this. You see how this game, they keep trying to run toward Black Americans, as if Black Americans are not their own uniqueness in America. Do you understand? Black Americans are their own uniqueness. You understand? See, you're not going to go to Nigeria and tell people just call yourself Nigerian in the story. They'd be like, no, 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 no. There are many tribes, right? Many ethnicities. No, but y'all, they look the same almost. We don't care about that. You see how that game? See that game? See that game? See, you're not going to go to Ghana and run that game and say, hey, just call yourself African in the story, right? They're like, no, 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 no. We might be in Africa. No, no, no. But we are on types of various tribes or nationality ethnicities. You're like, what you supposed to be Pan-Africanism? They'd be like, don't be doing that. But people try to run that game on Black Americans overall in America when you got people fleeing from various parts of Africa. We're not talking about some of the good brothers and sisters that situations happen. They come over and they stay humble. No, no, no. That's a small amount. You got these other ones that flee to America and have the nerve to talk about Black Americans. They have the nerve to try to run game upon Black Americans. You call yourself Africans. I mean, like, you can get your out of here with that game. When they can't fix corruption going on in various parts of Africa, can't fix tribalism going on in Africa, various parts of Africa. Do you understand? So we're not going to play that game. So relating to this situation, let me go ahead and share my screen on this. So you got ones from certain sections of Africa. Oh, they don't want to talk about stuff like this. The ones applies to, right? But they try to run game and, well, I'm just saying some people from Africa, they're so hardworking, they're this and all that. They just do everything correct, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Dang fleers. The one I'm referring to. Think they sneaky with that scamming mentality and deflection tactics. So as you see already right here, today is June the 5th, 2026. This article was June the 6th, 2026. ICE arrest Sudanese border break illegal immigrant national with violent criminal history in Nashville, Tennessee. This border break illegal immigrant alien committed several crimes in Tennessee and Georgia, but this is a wholesome version of certain Africanism, right? That Black Americans are supposed to be jealous of too, like the other mythological or pseudo nonsensical mythological model minority nonsense. They try to run that game on Black Americans too. This is what Black Americans are supposed to be jealous of collectively. This border break illegal immigrant, super violent, right? Criminality. This is what Black Americans supposed to be jealous of? Right. Okay. Nashville, Tennessee, ICE enforcement and removal operations. New Orleans officers arrested Gabriel Maro Ayuro, a border break illegal immigrant criminal alien from Sudan. All those rich resources in Sudan, that ancient kingdoms in Sudan, And look what's going on over there of the tribalism and corruption and all these different conflicts going over there. Where's that Pan-Africanism at? Where's that Pan-Africanism at? Quiet. In Nashville on May the 5th, a Euro 55 was convicted of first-degree attempted murder in Davidson County in 2003 and sentenced to 20 years in prison. A Euro entered the United States as a refugee, right? Fleeing. See, Black Americans can't just flee to various parts of Africa and say, we're refugees. They be like, You got to come with the right documentation. You got to come with some resources. See how the hypocrisy is. And they know it's not enough Black Americans that sit there and roast that hypocrisy back. From Sudan in 1995, in addition to his attempted murder conviction, his criminal record out in the U.S. includes arrest for driving under the influence and failure to appear in Georgia, aggravated assault with deadly weapon, felony possession of prohibited weapon, and felony flight to avoid prosecution in Tennessee. Removing border break illegal immigrants, aliens, with serious criminal convictions from our communities is essential to protecting public safety, et cetera, et cetera. We are committed to enforcing immigration laws and prioritizing cases that pose a threat, first of all, to our neighbors, regardless. Breaking illegal immigration laws, be it violent or not, is not the freaking point. It is breaking illegal immigration laws. Can Black Americans break immigration laws in various parts of Africa? Say they're not violent, but they fleeing, which Black Americans are not fleers. But hypothetically, say Black Americans fleeing over to Africa, which Black Americans never have fled, and they went up to certain parts of Africa and seeking asylum and was doing violent behavior. Non-violent behavior, right? You think they will allow Black Americans to stay over in various parts of Africa? They say, wait a minute now. Well, they broke immigration laws, but they were non-violent. They be like, who cares? Get out. See the hypocrisy, right? So it don't matter if it's violent sectionality versus various Africans or non-violent versus certain Africans. In this situation, it's breaking immigration laws. An immigration judge issued a final order of removal for a year in July 2008. He did not depart the country and remain in the United States for more than 17 years, a felony offense. After months of investigation, ICE officers located a year in an apartment in South Nashville. He told officers he had just moved into the apartment the week before. A year will remain in ICE custody pending removal. Now, what he's not saying is that did he have any kids? Because if he did, bam, automatic citizenship, right? See how that goes? See the games that people running upon certain numbers of Black Americanism? Because there are ones that, unfortunately, I don't go into all that. Let's just say there are numbers of people that are running certain reality Pan-Africanism game that don't even practice Pan-Africanism in various parts of Africa. And they try to run that tactic on Black Americans, right? But you start talking about this particular person here, this border break illegal immigrant Sudanese. He say, hey, where's Pan-Africanism with that? They be like, we don't know who that is. But what about Pan-Africanism? Pan-Africanism, you try to run that game on Black Americans Collective. What about him? No. Don't try to put us in that category. All Africans aren't the same. Say that game. So they run that game, right? But I want to also play this particular video on this part. And I'm utilizing this under timepiece purposes and what I call fair usage doctrine as well. Not what I call fair usage doctrine, and also I call timepiece purpose.
So that's his car, the Hyundai.
All right, 10-4. We want to knock it, or we want to try to wait and see what happens?
I'm good if we want to wait. Maybe he leaves for work at 8. If everybody wants to give it a little bit, and it's after 8-ish, we don't see him leave, then we'll go knock.
The subject that we just arrested received a removal order about 20 years ago, continued to just remain here illegally in the United States while he was committing those crimes.
20-something years that he stayed in America after he's supposed to have a removal order. This border break illegal immigrant from Sudan. But this is what Black Americans supposed to be jealous of. This is the best and brightest, right? And they try to relay this old silly little tactic. Well, that's that one over there from certain parts of Africa. He or she did that. Who cares? We're talking about collectively. Different continent. Why is it that Howard personnel can't do that in Africa, in various parts of Africa? Or forget, Africa's a continent with 50 plus countries. So some various parts of Africa ain't gonna let people run game. You got hundreds of tribes, hundreds of languages. Do you understand? You ain't gonna just run that game and say Berbers, you're Africans, chaos of Africans. They be like, no. What about the various Arabs over there? Chaos of Africans. Nope, they ain't run that game. What about the white South Africans, Boers? Just chaos of Africans. They be like, what? I don't think so. See how that goes, right? But they got people just trying to tell black Americans, chaos of Africans, some generic situation. Right? You're like, what the anyway, you see the game people keep running upon Black Americans when Pan-Africanism name ran like that inside various parts of Africa like that. Do you understand? See how the game goes. Well, oh my goodness. Well, it's not all Africans who do that. I mean, Black Americans, I'm like this. Yeah, we're not going to run that. We're not going to play that little tactic. We're not going to play that tactic. I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP show. I am your host. Thank you for enjoying the topic and consider subscribing to the channel and possibly also liking the video. Thank you.